dressed.
Oh, now
Spaniards dress their kids.
The French are always, people go, the French are smelly. The French, like you can spot a Frenchie from 100 yards away. You go, it's like they're wearing something that's being ironed while they're walking.
Yes.
It's sort of, you know.
It's hilarious.
Some Asians have this as well, where you go, I don't know how that's come together.
Japanese.
Wow, the Japanese.
They can throw together fits that you're like, how did you come up with that?
Well, this is my theory that I've never managed to get off the ground, but that Asians will dress with great fashion and no style, and black people will often dress with all style and no fashion.
I honestly,
sometimes, not all black people. Some black people are very fashionable, but you can see a black guy wearing like his own hoodie that he's painted on, and he's wearing shorts or something. You go, that's great. No one knows about that yet. Gucci's going to find out about you, and they're going to steal that immediately. And I see Asian people wearing the best, most expensive thing. I go, I would never want to look like that.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. They'll be wearing a silk suit that's perfectly tailored, and you're like, did you just wake up from a nap? Like the way that their suits are, you're like, it looks like you're in the fucking Talking Heads concert video.
What, are we talking about black people again?
No, we're talking about Asians.
Because I would say I've seen also black people in cool silk suits, entirely wrong proportions. Oh, the coolest stuff.
Look at any of the old early 2000 fashion.
Yeah.
Black dudes made giant white tees, the kind that I used to have to wear when I was a kid, and I got chicken pox and had to put that stuff on my body so I didn't itch. What's that called? What's the pink shit that you put on so you don't itch chicken
I never
pox?
had to do. I had it in a bath, I think.
Yeah.
But you're saying you had this on?
But I would just wear a giant T-shirt.
Yeah.
And then,
so you don't itch.
But then, like in the early 2000s, rappers.
Hip again.
What's that?
I became hip.
Yeah.
They made it work. Also, trousers that don't fit. I love watching those early 2000s when basketball players have suits that are just inhumanly.
It looks so funny.
Someone's going to bring that back. That's the Talking Heads suit.
That's
what I thought you were saying. Yeah.
Suit. Where they
What
just
a
feel like
suit.
they're dancing.
Such beautiful outfits.
But you're right. I've seen black dudes, especially in New York City. You know what black dudes made cool?
Okay.
That no one else can make cool? Those ski masks. That just
I remember seeing that a lot during COVID on the basketball
they're still all
presses.
over the
Still
place.
ski masks.
But it's like NASCAR drivers wear it under their helmets. They look like idiots.
Yeah.
Black dudes wear it just in the streets. They look cool as shit.
It's time for white people to
We gotta start taking risks.
Well, just culturally give one thing. I mean, rock and roll ended when? The Strokes? What's the last big proper? The Black Keys had a couple of songs late.
Well, you could argue there's still rock bands, but I would say rock in general, as a guy that worked in alternative radio,
I would say hitting the charts with a rock band.
I would probably say 2008.
2008.
Because I worked, I'll tell you what it was. I used to work at K-Rock here in the city. On
K-Rock.
92.3 WXRK. They changed us to a top 40 station in 08. So that was like...
Because it was over.
It was over.
Yeah.
No one gave a shit about rock music anymore. Guys, it's time to talk about the perfect jean. Over 30,000 men have rated the perfect jean 5 stars because you never have to sacrifice comfort for sweet style. Or also, you know, just wear comfortable pants. We're in 2025. You shouldn't have to... This isn't the old days where you have to find one pair of pants and wear them the rest of your life, even though that would be kind of sick. They come in 3 fits. They got 5 washes, waist sizes 26 to 50 in length, it's 26 to 36, giving you over 1,500 combinations to find your perfect pair for client-facing days, playing 18 holes, or grabbing some drinks with the guys at a rooftop bar. For a limited time, our listeners are going to get 15% off their first order, plus free shipping at theperfectjean.nyc. Or Google The Perfect Jean and use the code SODER15 for 15% off. Because The Perfect Jean, I mean, come on. We're giving you a break on it. You're going to love them. They're very, very comfortable. You put them on, you can wear them wherever you want. So it's finally time to stop crushing your balls in uncomfortable jeans by going to The Perfect... They said that, not me. By going to theperfectjean.nyc. Our listeners are getting 15% off your first order, plus free shipping, free returns, and free exchanges when you use the code SODER15 at checkout. That's 15% off for new customers at theperfectjean.nyc with promo code SODER15. After you purchase, they'll ask where you heard about them. Please support our show and tell them we sent you. Go enjoy your sweet, sweet jeans. I actually genuinely, I know we do these reads or whatever, and you're like, oh, what is he like? But dude, as a hypochondriac, when I see ZocDoc, I go, Hello, old friend. Because ZocDoc is a free app and website where you can search and compare high-quality, in-network doctors and click to instantly book an appointment. I'm telling you, that's the hardest part about getting into a doctor is finding the doctor, finding one close to you, finding an appointment time that works for you. But we're talking about booking in-network appointments with more than 100,000 doctors across every specialty, from mental health to dental health, primary care to urgent care, and more. You can filter for doctors who take your insurance, who are located nearby, and good fit for any medical need you might have. So, I mean, there you go. If you need a doctor and you need to go see one, just get the ZocDoc app, put in all the info, and it'll be easy. So stop putting off those doctor's appointments and go to ZocDoc.com/Soder to find and instantly book a top-rated doctor today. That's ZocDoc.com/Soder. ZocDoc.com/Soder.
I remember I used to read the right up until Pitchfork kept it going. I kept
Loved
reading that
Pitchfork.
until like 2012, and there was a pivot.
Pitchfork.
But before then,
Pitchfork review of an album was so
huge.
important to
It was
me
a
back
big
then.
thing. Yeah, I really followed the scores and compare it and try and predict what they were allowed
Yeah,
to
and
do.
you're like, and then when they would be wrong,
Oh, it was a great feeling.
you're like, oh, you just fucking
I remember they
idiots.
were wrong about Lightspeed Champions first time. They
When
got
do
around
we
him later as Blood Orange, but they really hated that album. But and then at some point I started looking at the end of year top 100 Pitchfork songs.
Sure.
And I go, these are all bad.
Yeah.
And also a Straight White Man is the top entry at 32. And we're making a lot of this stuff. There's a political bent coming at some point.
Yeah, that was the thing where you started being like, how is he
I don't
32?
trust you anymore.
I don't trust you. Yeah.
Well, they redo the top songs of the 90s, and it's like number one, Old Dirty Bastard and Mariah Carey with Fantasy, and you go, while that is a great song, having Smells Like Teen Spirit outside the top 5 seems like a dig.
Even I would even say having something like fucking Enter Sandman out of the top 5 is crazy.
Wow, you know what I was listening to on the way over here was the Trust I Seek and I Find in You.
Oh, yeah, dude. Wherever I May Roam.
It's crossing the road for that. Oh, it's just,
Wherever I May Roam is the greatest travel song of all time.
well, I was at Freebird. For me is
Really?
I like that Skinner wrote the greatest travel song and the greatest stay-at-home song. They do Freebird and Sweet Home Alabama. They go, I can't stay here, and they go, I have to stay here.
I have to stay here.
Same band, Cosmopolitanism and Blood and Soil.
They go, I'm free as a bird.
Yeah,
Oh, I would think the best is Turn the Page.
I don't know Turn the Page.
Bob Seger's Turn the Page?
No, I know nothing about Bob Seger. I started watching the Dylan movie in which is that Bob Seger?
I don't know. I didn't watch Complete on that.
He does This Land Is Your Land.
No, Pete Seeger, more of a folk guy. Bob Seger, straight up.
I know nothing about Bob Seger.
Oh my God! I get to show you night moves. I get to show you
nothing.
fucking. Turn the Page is Metallica covered it later
Okay.
on Turn the Page, but Turn the Page is the road song. Like he wrote it in the '70s. It is like.
I like that because I'm struggling with the road at the moment. It's eating me. I'm staying at my sweet friend Aaron Chen's house.
Okay.
You know Chenny. He's the #1 ticket mover in Australia because he's so great. He's in New York now. I can now afford a hotel. And I really didn't want to. That's why I reached out to you.
Yeah,
And I
you're
reached
like,
out to you.
I was like, well, I don't think you sleep on
I
this couch.
understand, but
I was like, I'll have you get a hotel.
I need
I'm
to
not
do
making
that.
anyone
And I
sleep on this
appreciate it.
fucking
I
blue
appreciate
couch.
it, but I needed to stay with it because I cannot be in another
Well,
hotel.
I'll tell you right now, I'm going to get you some brain ointment, and that is.
Is that marijuana code?
No, that's Bob Seger's Turn the Page.
It's called brain ointment?
Good music's brain
No, I
ointment, dude.
want to say this. I got the England last week.
Yeah, oh yeah.
It was so nice. The whole
You did a whole thing, though. You did a whole thing. You got an interview?
I stayed with Blondie Way.
Yeah. On YouTube, which I'm going to start watching.
I'm doing nothing but promoting that. But it used to be like religious story. Q, Mojo, Uncut, all of the big good enemy. And it was so great. Like more than I would listen to the music, I would read the journalism on it. And it's dead. The whole generation of autistic men who don't get to go to record stores and argue about it. This is a huge
It's
loss.
a problem. Also, in the United States, you could probably put it on the same path as mass shootings. Just because
I believe
guys don't have a place to go like, that album sucked. And they go,
It was a 4. It was a 4.5.
4.5.
This is
Rolling
important.
Stone, when it got sold by Jan Wenner, and then it got bought up by a group that's like controlled by like Middle Eastern business.
Saudis.
It probably is. And like, their journalism used to be great. Rolling Stone used to write like unbelievable articles.
Yeah.
And then now you read it.
I mean, that's come to an end, and the Substack thing is not taken over.
Nope, they really thought it was. You were like, guys, you've already been through blogging.
Yeah.
It didn't take.
People are trying, and maybe it'll take some time. But boy, I read a great article about it was one of the last people to get into the Vanity Fair sphere of Fran Lebowitz is having let's have these big drinks, and it's all paid for by the country. You come back and you write us 4,000 best words anyone's ever written about the new hat. But like that whole world of intellectual participation in public life is done.
You know who's going to save it? Tim Dillon.
I mean, genuinely closer than anybody else.
I think he's the only person with the power to do that.
He's paying attention. People are listening to him. He's very smart. And in terms of the glitzy life, I've heard him describe anyone else I would find it disgusting. But when it's him, I go, that's right. Like he told an actor, he was like, I was in the back of a Rolls Royce, and we pulled up, and he said, the guy said, do you think we can put regular in this, or is it premium? If any car is ever going to be premium. And I was like, of course, for you, this is great. Anyone else says I bought a Rolls Royce, like I need it.
And I've known him since he started coming to the city, he opened mics for Long Island. He's always been there. This isn't a thing where...
It's authentic.
It's so authentic that that's the reason I think he could save it.
Yeah.
Because he's not the same way you are a hot item in Brooklyn.
I can be, yes, in terms of being a bedraggled Brooklyn hipster. Really, to do that. I'd really rather be the Rolls Royce guy deep down. I think that seems like a better
I don't think so. I think you're perfect for the Brooklyn fur coat. Women go like small girls with mousy bangs, just being like, who is he? I don't.
It is very weird
to
be looked at by women in a sexually on public transport. To be looked at by women in a sexually provocative way. You know, not since a couple of weeks ago walking around Soho with the homosexuals.
Oh, yeah.
Did I get looked at like that? It is.
God, I went through a real.
To go to a man's head.
I went through a real moment where early 20s.
Yeah.
I had my little short Caesar haircut. Boys were after this. The girls not so much, but the boys.
You knew it was on the table.
Yeah, dude. I just knew. I was like, if I wanted to, I could. It wouldn't be a reach. But I'm telling you, you go to Brooklyn right now, shit, you'd be the heartthrob of Greenpoint.
I am glad I got my life sorted and settled, and because I really think I could have gotten AIDS out there from a woman. And that's not easy to do as a man. I would have been putting numbers on there.
Very difficult. I would say we tossed James into 2011 Williamsburg. You're a problem. You are a problem, especially because I'm drinking. And
but I'll add the extra is that anywhere else in America buys you nothing.
Really?
Oh,
you haven't been to a place. So this was
secondhand bookstores.
Oh,
you know, there are certain locations, but just walking down the main street.
It's always funny when you see
worst looking man in my hometown and where I live now, in Brooklyn.
Men are like drinks, where sometimes a drink is perfectly put in a situation where you go, I don't enjoy that drink, but then you're in a situation like
I like to have a certain situation.
But like gin and tonics, I never enjoyed it unless I was at like pretty nice. And then I would have a gin and tonic and I go, this is great.
Yeah. But
then outside of that,
I reckon if you were in India, scared of malaria, it's hot outside.
Oh, you can't trust the water. That's like beer in the Middle West.
I'm trying to. There are certain beers that on a hot day I can't have. There's a VB is in Australia. On a hot day.
It's a good VB.
The rest of the time it's no good. But hard earned. Their commercial is the most iconic, best Australian commercial. They took very close to the theme song from the Magnificent Seven. And they just have like men working, and then they have a guy doing like a bush. Yes. You can get it down the field. You can get it, and then it's like.
So that's our equivalent. Our equivalent in the States is the Coors Banquet commercial with Sam Elliott.
I'm interested in
where it shows just like a bunch of I'm from Colorado, so it shows like if you're up in the Rocky Mountains, you're looking for something to drink. Well, there's Coors. Since the Rockies have some of the coldest water ever. And you watch me go, I want a Coors Banquet.
Yeah.
I bought an 18-pack of Coors Banquet beer because of Sam Elliott.
Is this the one in the little gold bottle?
It's the red. It's the gold can over the gold. That's Coors original.
That was one of the first beers that I had in life in America. when I first moved here and I was in Steubenville, Ohio, and it was snowing and I had nothing. I had no job, money, I didn't have any money to get home. This was about 14 months ago.
Why Steubenville? Why Steubenville?
I got a job and I got fired from the job.
How fast did you get fired?
I got fired before I arrived. But as part of being fired, I still got a small, I got some money and 3 months rent. And about enough money to live for 3 months. Not quite enough, but it was okay.
So they hired you to move from Australia
Yes.
to a different hemisphere,
Yes.
and then they fire you.
Well, they looked up my stand-up comedy, and they were right. They were like, "This is."
So that's what got you fired?
Yeah.
Was your comedy?
They said this is disgusting. I know, and I had just released a sketch about stabbing someone in the throat with an AIDS needle, and I think it was a Catholic, good upstanding Catholic podcast, and I understood. I got it. Like I actually don't.
So you weren't mad.
I wish the timing had been different, but they helped me get a place in America. I still got I got a visa. It wasn't. It's not easy to get a visa.
Yeah. Are you worried about that at all, then? The shit that's going on?
I think I would like to get a green card before the next administration. As a person currently living in Austin and living in Austin, things do take back power. More challenging.
It's so funny to see which foreign is worried about which administration.
Yeah.
Anyone Latin right now is sweating bullets. Any white foreigners are like, well, this next president might fucking really jack us up.
Kind of zig the other way.
That's what's happening in America. It seems like college response happens so fast.
Yeah.
That used to take like a decade. Now takes 2 years.
It's a big pit. But I think, I mean, it's hard to know what the Dems are going to do. Last time they had a they knew what they were doing. Resistance.
They're down there.
They're having a bit of an existential crisis.
Yeah, because you're finally seeing, and I hate politics, I hate all politics, but what we're finally seeing also in society is you're starting to see that the boomers are getting too old, that they're now all falling, they're all biting in. You know, they're all like...
And the Gen Xers never had to figure out what they stood for. They never really had... you would be a Gen Xer.
I'd be an older millennial.
The older millennial?
Yeah, I'm 83.
Wow. I'm very young. I'm 81. No, 91. I'm 91,
Yeah.
so I'm a young millennial.
You're a young millennial, but I'm right at the start of millennials.
Yes, so then if it smells like Teen Spirit, you're 10. So
I was 11 years old, 94. And it was fucking life-changing.
I believe
Nirvana was fucking life-changing.
I remember watching, I was in a
Metallica.
I was at Hungry Jackson. You see the music videos, you don't usually see the cheap music videos to get on the music video 20% of everything.
Yeah.
And it was a cherry. She's my cherry. And they showed the year. And I don't remember the year, but it was like,
Look at that very positive. She's my cherry pie.
And they got like bandanas and the long hair and makeup. And
it ended quick. Yeah.
And it's like, oh, that's the world that smells like Teen Spirit put a knife in.
Yes.
And killed forever.
So it's very... 90. So it's 90. So less than 3 years later.
Yeah.
And by the way, Nirvana put out Bleach in like fucking
91?
91, 92. And that has About a Girl. That has like some great songs on it. But...
Also, the Pixies are before then.
Pixies are before.
Pixies are late
80s. But 89.
Wow.
When was Bleach out, though? The album Bleach. I want to say it might have been... Oh, wow. 89.
So it was something was brewing, and it smells like Teen Spirit was
funny.
a cultural.
It's Big J,
breakthrough.
who we both,
Yes, yeah.
I
just saw him with long hair. I'd never seen that before.
Oh, it's so cool.
And he made sense to me as a man with long hair in a way that I went, oh, I know who you are now.
Can I tell you right now, and Bonfire fans know this?
Yeah.
I've been lobbying
For the return of the hair?
for 10 years for him to grow his hair back out.
Go back to the hair.
Because that was when we became friends. He had the long hair, biker, looked cool.
Yes.
Everything made sense.
It was because I've met him a couple times with the short hair, and I thought, I like that you're here. The comedy's great. You're a wonderful guy.
Yeah.
I don't have a full purchase on who you are. When I saw the long hair, I thought, oh, I know you.
Yeah. So
It was welcoming.
So
you know?
he's like a music savant. Like he can tell you
Yeah.
every album, every song, every lyric from fucking 1950 on. It's fucking insane the music recall that Big J has. But when we were doing the radio show together, he would always be like, Warrant or like Bon Jovi, and I don't care.
Yeah.
Because I was a little kid while all that music was going on. I didn't care about like Poison. I didn't give a shit about
White Snake.
didn't give a fuck. Would watch MTV and go like, okay, this is what adults. But like,
Yeah.
for me, it was Guns N' Roses, Metallica.
Yes.
Then Nirvana and the grunge scene.
And then
And then I just held on to Soundgarden.
late 90s, there's a dip, and so you must have been. I'm trying to think of
Late
how.
90s for me is.
But like your early 20s, you get that White Stripes, Strokes,
brother.
Rock and Roll Detroit. Did you ever listen to Electric Six?
No.
Oh, they had the Gay Bar. They had Danger High Voltage. But they were also in Detroit. They were the other band from Detroit.
Okay.
White Stripes really took off.
Yeah, White Stripes took off. Well, that's what was funny is Queens of the Stone Age came into my life with Songs for the Deaf in 2002. And I was just kind of like, oh, well, this is my favorite band now. And then I also found out they had 3 albums before, and I could get into Caius, and I could get into...
Caius.
Dude, I'll get you.
All right.
I'm getting you Welcome to Sky Valley. I'm going to get you Blues for the Red Sun.
I'm trying to get the years here. So this is like
97 was Caius.
Yeah.
98 was the first Queens of the Stone Age split album.
Yes.
And then they did self-titled, or I think self-titled was 98, and then Rated R in 99 or 2000. Then they did...
And Oasis is done by like 96.
Yeah, but were they though? Because they were still like everywhere.
Hang on, yeah.
Are you excited about their shows?
I have friends who are proper Oasis people. I enjoy some of the songs.
Yeah,
I don't go. What I love is the interviews.
Me too.
I've watched all the interviews.
Who's your guy, Liam or Noah?
No, I mean
Noel. Noel's the fun. When
you
I
could be friends with Noel. Liam seems like a liability. Noel, if he got in a fight, you'd go as probably a justified thing had happened. Liam is.
What, Oasis?
They dragged on for a while, but they weren't having like big hits.
They weren't doing well. Wait, who was the one that you guys met?
Noel is like the sensible one.
No, I like Liam.
You like the wild man.
Yeah, because his interviews are so funny.
No, yes.
He goes, there's one where he's like showing the tea setup, and he's like, this is how big in the 90s we were, right?
Yeah.
I had a guy.
Tea setup?
Yeah.
For tea?
Yeah, I'm going to show you the video. I think I have it saved.
Okay.
Where he's like, I'm going to show you how big we were. He's like, back in the 90s, I had a cunt for my tea. He like goes through and he goes, I had a little cunt for my tea. I had a little, I think I still have it figured out.
As a historic figure, Liam, very interesting. If I was on a plane next to someone for 6 hours, I'd take Noel every single time.
Yeah.
You'd actually be able to talk to him. He seems like a brilliant intellect.
He's very smart.
Also, he's got the...
I also love this where there's kids are asking Liam questions. This little kid's going like, what's your favorite? He goes, Finding Nemo. What's yours? It's just, I love Liam. Liam.
I was along for the Russell Brand, Noel, BBC stuff. I really...
But Liam, I think, is my guy. I think if I'm picking one.
I hope they can work it out. I hope they can get these shows together.
I mean, I feel like the amount of, yeah, you're right, money can't fucking solve them. Where is this video?
ABBA put it off for years. ABBA were offered $1 million to get that together.
That's too much money. Where the fuck? Oh, here it is.
Retreat to the next sector and continue your defense.
Niche. How great is he?
He's so charismatic.
I'm sending you the clip so you can edit it in. I'm sending it in.
Have you heard, there's a record that my dad had, and it was like a journalist just recorded the two of them interviewing.
I kind of remember.
It goes for like half an hour. I think Liam is going to mystify the story back from like Amsterdam. And it's him defending why. Yeah, just take why.
Yeah, dude. If you're Noel, you are. It's 100% Noel being frustrated with Liam.
Yes.
And then share a similar personality. So then he's got the
passion him through.
Yeah, but he's also probably got a moment.
At some point they did, and they didn't talk for a decade.
And then Liam's like, fuck you. This is my favorite. Just the way that Liam Dowd is like, shut the fuck up. Was it Liam that just got interviewed by Jim Jeffries?
Oh, I don't know.
That was great.
I'll ask him. I've never known Jim. I met with him one time.
Oh, fuck it. I'll just check it.
I have so many hits. I have so many hits with him. But we had one conversation where I was speaking about Catholic social teaching.
Yeah.
Because he was asking us. And I was like, he was like, no condoms at all.
Yeah.
Just keep going until your wife has a terrible pregnancy. And she's, and I thought, that's my experience. But I know I always thought it would be cool that he's such an everyman and that he was an opera singer. He was a trained opera singer. And we got, yes, I know, right? That's the look. Everyone should hear it. Jim Jeffries was trained to be an opera singer. He got like a problem with his voice. And he did comedy instead afterwards. But if anyone is going to do the show, like an 8-part series on opera, Jim Jeffries presents the world of opera. Who wouldn't watch this show?
What? His hits on opera?
Yeah.
Coming from the world?
Sorry, Archie's a sad cunt, but he's a clown. It's funny like that sometimes. I think that would be a good
I'll tell you right now that I got to do a couple shows. Me and Norman did a couple shows with Jim Jeffries, and watching how good he is at stand-up. You go to other people and you go he's so fucking good.
Yeah.
He's just so natural.
Yeah. No, he has bait and switch,
Yeah.
just in the chat. It's on, it's moved, it's everywhere.
The only person I've ever seen like that's Bill Burr and Shane, where they're just like the way they talk is like they're talking to you, and then they just go out in front of thousands of people and they talk in the same exact way. Every other person I know, there's even myself included, there's a shift and you work on it. Chappelle just like goes, he's like, but Chappelle's in his own world. Like Chappelle would just, I don't think Chappelle ever knows how he's on stage 4 hours.
Yeah.
I don't think Chappelle.
I think as you round the corner into the third hour, you probably can't keep the clown
I think
going.
Chappelle has moments where he's like, and that's why this election, where am I? And he's just at an empty bus station and he's like, how the hell did I talk my way into this? But if you're like, or when he runs out of cigarettes, that's when it snaps out. And he's like, what happened? What year is it? I think it's 2025. What happened to Neil? Where is Neil?
Who else does it? Because Bill Burr, I'm interested when you say that.
Well, Bill Burr.
Because I never met Bill Burr.
Twice.
I'm a huge Bill Burr fan. Yeah, but then it seems like anger. And then I hear him on the podcast, and he's like, the way he talks about his life on the podcast, he's so charming and he's so open and vulnerable. And then he's going like, I have to get on top of it. And he's being charming about, I just hate everybody and I'm angry. And it's like, well, if I met you, I think I meet the angry guy.
Well,
and I'm scared to do that because I loved F is for Family.
Yeah.
I think I'm a entrenched Bill Burr. I couldn't believe when I saw the black and white special. I had really thought comedy was kind of done at that
The
point.
helicopter act out in that is one of the greatest act outs in the stand-up bit of all time.
And
when the guy
technically,
jumps and he goes,
I was describing that to Aaron Chen earlier today. It is like technically masterful.
It's perfect. And I've been a guy. I'm a Burrophile. I'm a big Burrophile. And there's a reason that saying "never meet your heroes," because when you're around Bill Burr, it's like being around a dog that's growling all the time.
Sure.
Where you go like, I don't know if this is for me, but I don't want to get bit.
No.
Because sometimes he'll be like, I did the Patrice benefit, and he'd be like, I'll just say something, and he'd be like, why is that? And then you're like, oh God, he's attacking me.
No, I never want that.
No.
He shouted out one of my bits on the podcast. Oh, wow. He saw like a reel and it was on the, I don't know. I've never felt more warm and fuzzy.
Oh, that's unbelievable.
I was, but then of course, if I went up to him and said, you saw one of my bits and you said it on the thing, he'd be like, I know, it would buy me butter no parsnips.
So that's what Patrice was like.
Yeah.
Patrice, you would have these moments where you would be like, I think I'm in with him. And then you walk up and you're like, hey, Patrice. And he's like, get the fuck out of my face. And you're like, that was my mistake. And you like walk away and you go
I heard a story about him from an Irish guy this week on the phone. A friend of mine, Eddie Bannon, used to run a comedy festival in Ireland and they got Patrice over there. And I'd forgotten that Patrice seems to have broken in the UK before America.
He had to come back.
Yeah.
He was going to be huge in London. Like he was on his way.
But like had run into walls in America.
No, he went over there being like, from what I'm told from like Big J, who was close with him, and people that were close with him.
I don't know. This is
Bobby Kelly.
Yeah.
That he was kind of like, fuck this shit. And then he went to London and everyone in England was like, oh, you're one of the greatest of all time. Like very similar to a Hendrix.
Yeah.
Where they were kind of like, oh, fuck, you're great. And then he had to like make the choice to come back here. I know. That would have been great.
I mean, both were great. We got a lot of the work.
Yeah, but I think we wouldn't have gotten the years where he didn't give a shit here, where he was dismayed by the business here.
Yeah.
The business here was so controlled by the industry that it turned him off. It just, a guy
It's
like
funny
that.
because now America, I think, is the least controlled by the
Yes,
industry
I
of
agree.
any of these places.
I agree.
You still in Australia and the UK and New Zealand have to go up through some lady from the BBC putting you on.
Yeah, no,
a
now
panel
here
show or
it's like
something.
those people, you're watching them scramble. And I'm
Yeah.
not going to lie.
You're
Kinda
enjoying
nice.
it. You're loving it.
Kind of nice to watch people to go, we watched and we don't get it. And now they go like, are you hiring an extra producer on your podcast? And you're like, no, I'm not. I just don't see a place where we can have a
What do
position
managers
for
do?
you.
What do they do? They've got to come up with an excuse. Oh, this is the story. So the Irish guy brings him out and he's emceeing the thing. And they're having a wonderful chat. It's warm and it's nice and positive. And then apparently Patrice got very serious and said, you need to bring me on and say the N-word. I need you to bring me on and say, please welcome to the stage the N-word. And he said the N-word at the time. And the guy was like, I don't want to.
Yeah.
So he was like, you will do it.
They don't.
You're going to do it. You're going to go out there and do it for me.
You know how fucking terrifying that is?
Well, he said he was very frightened and he didn't do it and he didn't know if he did the right thing, and if he had done it, would that have been worse?
Yeah, but you should be like, man, what the fuck?
I expect that would have.
I'd like to bring up that boop, and then he's
Yeah.
like, what? That's gotta
But
be
I think,
wild.
I mean, you would have maybe. I mean, I never got to meet Patrice, but you would have won some sort of point for having the Stones to have done it,
Yeah, I think
Maybe.
he
having been told to do it.
I mean, dude, I don't know, man. I
It's
think
very hard to know.
that's just got to be a tough thing, especially when you go. I mean, ideally, you come over here, right? You're here.
I come over here.
Yeah, you're already here.
Yeah.
If you blow up in the way that we're talking about Patrice blowing up in England,
Yes.
would you want to go back to Australia, or would you feel comfortable being like, because America, you know, we were the pinnacle for, I mean, I think we still are as far as like getting eyeballs on stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
But it also at the creative pinnacle, simultaneously. I mean,
yeah, the First Amendment's
the rights are all here. Yeah.
Yeah, you can say whatever you want. You can't get in trouble.
But that it's also it's not like there's just a piece of paper guaranteeing that people actually. All right, I was in the UK and over again, I would be talking to someone and the vibe I got was that they were sort of waiting for me to say something they disagreed with, so they could dismiss me and go, I don't have to worry about this person. Thank goodness they don't have a purchase on my life anymore. In America, people are so open, and then you say something. Just typically, when I disagree with someone or they disagree, and people are enthusiastic about having a disagreement,
Oh, we
because
like
you'll
it.
really be able to open that up now and get to know one another and work through it. They don't. That's not in the colonies.
I read
that's
a
not
very,
our thing.
I read a very interesting article a couple of years ago about, it was called the immigrant gene, and that people that
Think about this all the time.
so
I
you
didn't
know
know
what
there
I'm
was a book
talking
about it, but like the Dutch leave for South Africa, and then a certain kind of person in that country is out,
me.
and so who remains is going to be different.
Yeah.
Like by having an immigrant population, both countries change.
so basically,
Do you know what I mean?
But well, the point.
I want to, maybe it's a different thing that you're
Well,
saying.
this was a genealogy thing,
Okay.
where they were basically saying like everyone that came over through Ellis Island, through immigration, or even illegal immigration, the people
Yeah.
that come over there have something in them that goes like, I need to go somewhere else to fulfill what I need.
Yes.
And that gene passes down.
Yeah.
So that people 3 generations later, even if you're born in a fucking town in Ohio,
You
and
still have
live
the
there,
need to move.
you have that need to like, we've got to do something. So basically, America is this country of immigrant genes moving around, which gives us the ability. We want to clash. We want to stake.
But
new
also
land.
that you, on a structural level, you have moving within America built in.
Yeah.
Everybody starts somewhere, goes to college in a second place, and seems to live in place number 3.
Yep. You know what's the most offended people got whenever I talk about this podcast? That the reason I left Colorado, because I was afraid I was going to get stuck in Colorado, and then people send me messages where they go, fuck you, I'm stuck in Colorado. What's wrong with my life? And I go, nothing.
No.
I'm just saying why I left.
But also, I mean, there are many people who are like New Yorkers, who then go to college in, I don't know, West Virginia, I'm picking stuff, but then would end up in Colorado and go, I made it to Colorado.
Yes, that's exactly.
It's
that was
just,
like what
the
we were talking
important
about.
thing here
Adam
seems
Cate.
to be not ending where you started.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter where that ends up being.
Because it's empirical evidence that you made him move, that you evolved, that you changed. So it's like big for people. I mean, for me, born in Hartford, Connecticut, raised in Colorado, went to college in Arizona, worked in Alaska, back in Arizona doing comedy, then moved here.
I know you worked in Alaska.
Just for a summer.
How was it? Were you on the
Horrible
oil
work.
fields or something?
No, I did a fish cannery.
Fish cannery?
Cannery.
Okay.
A cannery. So
you put fish in cans?
Yeah, I just caught him in a can, and I said, "You live here now." No, I did a dock cruise. So I worked at a commercial fishery where all these people would go out and they would do. I worked for salmon. I did halibut and salmon season. So they go out into the river, the Kenai River, or the Cook Inlet, and then it was the Kenai River mostly. The Cook Inlet was for the halibut, but you would do just for the halibut. But you would.
I was there. Wait, had you gone to college by this? You'd
I
gone
was
to
in
college.
between years.
Okay.
At
so you go there
university,
as some time
at uni.
Excuse me. Yeah, we do. College.
In between, in between my freshman and sophomore year.
Did you start comedy at college, or you did it after?
I started it actually when I came back from Alaska. Because that was the moment where I was like, oh, I think I'm funny enough to do this.
You were hanging out with the boys at the cannery.
I was killing.
Yeah.
I mean, I was fucking killing.
It is a nice feeling.
I mean, these boys were hardened working men. And my soft-handed little bitch ass I was getting them laughing.
Yeah.
And I lived with my aunt, who was my dad's sister up there.
Okay.
She had cancer, and she was dying of liver cancer. So I was like, oh, I'm going to go up there and live with you. She was my funniest family member. And I just went and lived with her. But then I worked at the docks, so I had to live on the docks. So I would come back and see her.
Living on the waterfront.
Yeah. I lived, shout out Steve Calderwood. He just DM'd me. I haven't spoken to him in fucking 25 years. But they would let you rent a room on premise of the docks. Like there's places you could live.
And this is what, there are mountains there? And
there's Denali.
Okay.
There's Mount McKinley.
Mount McKinley.
Or Denali.
As it is now.
It was Mount McKinley when I lived there, then they switched to Denali, and they switched it back to Mount McKinley. I would drive. There would be moments where I'd go to the store to get cigarettes and beer, and then I would turn a corner, and the sweeping view, I would be like...
It's all breathtaking.
It's unbelievable. In the summer...
Did you drive up there? Or?
No, I flew up there.
You flew up there,
I flew to Seattle, then Seattle to Anchorage, and then took a puddle jumper from Anchorage to Kenai. I lived in Kenai and Soldotna. And
so these are islands, or they're on the mainland?
It's 2.5 hours southeast of Anchorage.
Okay.
So it's by the way, the drive from Anchorage.
Where's this compared to Ketchikan?
Ketchikan was right up the river. So we were pretty close.
I fell into a Wikipedia thing about
Ketchikan.
Alaskan geography for a time.
It's unbelievable.
And reading about the native community bus services and things.
And they also pay you to live there because there's an oil reserve. So when you move there and you become an Alaskan citizen, they give you a check, or they used to. Send you a check for like $1,700.
And they have a comedy festival there. I know that.
I'd love to do it. I'd love to go up there and do stand-up because I never got to do stand-up in Alaska. But I worked and...
your time will come.
I would definitely go up there.
Yeah.
I would love to go up there. But it was probably one of the greatest summers of my life because, A, my aunt was dying. I really liked her. She's very funny. I asked her if I should do stand-up.
Rewording that.
What?
It was one of the greatest summers of my life because my aunt was dying and I loved her.
That bitch was getting out of here.
You got to be close with her at a difficult time.
She was like one of the only family members from my dad's side that I really knew.
Yeah.
So I liked being able, she's very funny too. She's very fucking funny. And so it was fun to hang out with her, but then I ended up just working because I didn't realize, I didn't go up there knowing I was going to do that. I went up there being like, oh, I'll live with her. I'll work at a restaurant or something. And I tried getting hired at a landscaping place. They weren't hiring. I tried getting hired at a radio station. They weren't hiring. And then I took my aunt's truck to the docks. This guy, Brian, who was working on the Cheyenne, shout out his ship, the Cheyenne. He was welding.
Okay.
The guy was welding the side of his ship. And I just walked up to him like a fucking idiot. And I went, excuse me. Interrupting a man welding makes you feel real gay. And he threw up his mask and he was like, what's up? And I was like, are they hiring here? And he's like, hold on. And he went up to the owner's house, the guy that owned it. And he's like, you guys hiring? And then I went up to the guy's.
This is a Fox Searchlight movie.
It was crazy. I went up there and the guy was like, fish season doesn't start for a month or 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah.
He's like, are you good with your hands? Are you all right with manual labor? And I was like, yeah. And he tossed me a pair of work gloves. And he's like brand new work gloves. He had a drawer filled with work gloves. And he tossed me a pair and he's like, 8 a.m. Monday, because it was a Friday that I asked.
Yeah.
He's like, 8 a.m. Monday. You all right with that? And I was like, yeah. He's like, all right, here's the paperwork. Bring it back filled out. 8 a.m. Monday. And I showed up 8 a.m. and it was me, 2 other guys, and they handed us a pickaxe and a shovel, and they're like, there's a PVC pipe about 6 feet in the ground, runs 90 yards all the way to the water. We need you to dig it up because in the freeze in the winter it cracked, so we need to replace it. So our job for the week was just digging
the pipe up,
and that was it. But it was sick because honestly, that was back when I was drinking and smoking. So I would do like, you
get tired during the day and then you get to hang out with the boys at
drink
night.
6 beers and then smoke and this was when weed was hard to get because it was still a class 1 narcotic. And Alaska has some of the best weed I've ever smoked in my life.
I didn't know that about them.
So these guys would like pack a bowl and I would like take a hit and I'd be like, drink a couple High Lifes, fucking go back to my aunt's house.
And you also knew you were going back to college at this point.
In August, I knew I was like going to go back.
That makes it very sweet because if you had done college and then done that and not had anything afterwards,
scary.
The fear would
Well,
really
the whole thing was like, I was like, I don't know what you guys do in between years at college in Australia.
Gap year, people.
Yeah,
between school and college, university, people go out and they, you go on a tiki tour of Europe and get very drunk.
So a lot of times I just jumped right into university. I went from high school to university.
Yeah,
and then
that's what I did.
Yeah, but then in between semesters, freshman, sophomore, I was gonna go back to Colorado and just like wait tables at Applebee's.
But you guys do a huge. We have more small gaps. The small gaps through the year are longer. I'm starting to understand what summer holidays mean to Americans.
Yeah, it's
you get the summer. It's like 2 full months.
Literally,
3. What? How long is
brother? I was out I was done with classes May 10th.
Yeah,
and I didn't need to be back at school till August 28th.
That's an incredible stretch of time.
I lived in Alaska that whole time.
Yeah,
and I came back with like $15,000.
This also makes sense to me of having like the summer blockbuster or the hit of the summer.
Yeah,
people are just in a fallow season of rest.
Well, they want to go to the movies. They want to listen to stuff. They're going to the beach. They're going to party or whatever. And I was just making money. So when I came back to school, I fucking came back with 20 pounds of muscle and $15,000.
And a grizzled working man's experience.
Hands that are calloused.
Yeah.
And I was kind of like,
but then you have to sit in classes again after that.
Yeah, and then also the muscle wasted away, the money fucking ran out, and I just was like,
that having a weird job for a stretch is huge.
Also, you know what it did? It taught
me
what I never want to do, which is that kind of work.
Yeah.
It was so hard. 16 hours a day, 7 days a week. They wouldn't give us days off unless it was a holiday because they didn't want to pay us time and a half.
Yeah.
So you just work. You literally just wake up to work. But hour for lunch, hour for dinner, you eat fast and then you smoke weed for 45 minutes with all your friends.
Yeah.
And then it was kind of sick because you're just driving around forklifts.
Well, I mean, also you can enjoy things at the end of it long. I never got to do manual labor because I'm so bad with my...
I mean, I was bad
wasn't
too.
Even.
To the point that when I left in August...
You're a personality hire.
Yes.
Yeah.
The foreman told me, he goes, we wanted to fire you so many times. He goes, but you're a hard worker. That's exactly what he said to me. Where I was like, "Oh, you just called me a bitch," because they would be like,
"He said he liked you."
Yeah, but they would be like, "Hey, change out the timing belt on this thing," and I'd be like, "I don't know how to fucking do that." And then I'd have to go get like Steve or Mike, the dock boss, to be like, "Hey, Mike, will you do this?" It was nuts. I did, yeah. But
you knew at that point, I will never do that again.
It was so hard that I was like, "All right."
Well, then how do you get into radio? What's the jump? What's the time delay for you to?
So I go
finish college and you go, I've got to do something with my voice or my brain.
Well, I started when I moved back to Tucson after Alaska. I spent all the money.
Yeah.
I mean, fast.
You buy cool shoes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I bought a lot of alcohol.
I spent $70 on socks this afternoon.
Dude, I went to Costco and bought giant 175s of Jack Daniel's whiskey, like 4 of them, and like 3 cartons. I was shopping like won the lotto.
Yeah.
And then I ran out of money. And perfectly, I had to get a job, so I got hired at Outback Steakhouse as
I have so many complaints about Outback Steakhouse.
Bring it. I only did 2 shifts.
I'll
get into it.
I worked at McDonald's very briefly. I worked at a cafe. I was at a Subway for like 3 weeks, and they said, you'd never come back. I was so bad at it. I was just bad. I was slow.
Yeah.
I was not a good I don't know. I just could not go into that mode.
How hard is it cutting? Was this when you used to cut the middle of the bread where you had
a little knife? You got
that little green or yellow knife.
Tiny, and then a little magnetic strip. Yeah, I was just so bad at it. And also I rubbed the boss up the wrong way. I was not able to go along and get along.
Yeah, you couldn't do the corporate thing of like, hey, when we win, Subway wins.
Not for, all the meetings, you have to, we're all watching a thing about not harassing each other, and every job I've had except for comedy, I've been an unmitigated failure.
Yeah.
Actually, as a copywriter, I could really do. I discovered
You were a copywriter?
I was like the lowest rung of copyright, and I was sort of working my way up. I was doing okay, but when I got married, my wife got pregnant, and I had been a music journalist for a while, and I loved that. But then
that makes sense on how much you loved Pitchfork and all that stuff.
Loved them, and then I got to do it, and then they just stopped kind of existing.
That's how
I was there right at the end when they shut down. I was in New Zealand on holiday, and I got a phone call going, "There's no magazine for you to come back to."
You know what's crazy about that is you and I were both working in rock music when it died.
Yeah,
you were working as a rock journalist.
Yes,
and I was on a rock station as a DJ.
It was and
it got killed. We watched it die.
And then I hung around a little too long because I worked in commercial radio, and the extent to which I think radio had been able to make choices about what was playing.
Yeah.
And then it was entirely on the receiving end of this is popular, this is getting a lot of streams, we're playing that.
Yeah. It doesn't matter if it's good or not, it's popular.
Well, no one there left has even a sense of,
Yeah. So
good is not the question anymore.
But Outback Steakhouse.
Yeah, they don't serve our beers. They serve Foster's, which we don't drink.
Yeah. So Foster's has never even been kind of an Australian beer.
I think we had it until like Crocodile Dundee, and then we were a bit embarrassed by it, and we stopped having it. And we have Crown Lager instead. Is the like?
What is if you were to say I would say Budweiser's America's beer.
Yeah.
Budweiser's or Coors.
I would say it's very regional. Carlton Draft would be one. VB.
What did you grow up drinking?
Cooper's Pale. That's the largest family-owned brewery in Australia. They have it for sale. I'm told that the old mate there's a new Aussie bar that's just opened up in
Have
Manhattan.
Shane buy it.
The Aussie bar? Or
buy Cooper's Ale.
No, we got it. It's got to stand. It's been in the Cooper's family.
That's fair.
It's been in the Cooper's family for a long time, but I love that beer. Beer doesn't travel well.
No.
You have to make it under license, but I loved it.
So Outback doesn't serve. So you're next year to tell me you guys don't have an Awesome Blossom.
What I found funny was the Alice Springs chicken. You can buy Alice Springs chicken, and they've clearly just selected that because Alice Springs is in the middle, and there's nothing around it. So when you're on Google Maps or whatever, or they draw a map, it's nice to put something there. So they put Alice Springs. It's like 30,000 people. It's not a big town.
But the chicken.
Well, that's just every bad story in Australia.
It's Alice Springs.
The violence and the crime. Like whenever a curfew is put on, it's Alice Springs.
So
whenever there's people have been when Spanion, who's a great Aussie export. He's a ex-con kickboxer who just walks around bad neighborhoods. Walking around Kensington going, there's a guy doing heroin on the street. Kids can watch him. And so he goes to Alice Springs and sees what's going on there. That's how rough Alice Springs is.
So if we had an American
Alice Springs
restaurant,
chicken.
Yeah, if we had an American restaurant in Australia that we didn't fuck with, and it was called fucking, I'm trying to think of what's like a rural ass fucked up town. We do Omaha beef, but that's because Nebraska does beef.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to think
we also have Outback
Gary,
Steakhouse.
Indiana chicken.
This is how weird it becomes, is that we've got...
Did you try that Gary, Indiana chicken over at Patriots? And you go, what the fuck is that?
We have Outback Steakhouse in Australia.
No, you don't.
So within Australia, you can go to an American restaurant pretending to be an Australian restaurant.
Who decided to bring it over there? Isn't that
I'd never been.
The guy in the boardroom that's
one.
like Outback in the Outback, and they go, that doesn't work.
It would be, I don't know. It would be like doing deep fried Japanese food in Japan. And going, hey, you guys like this?
Yeah, we don't fucking eat.
No,
this.
what it would be, I think, is trying to sell prawn crackers to the Chinese.
You
have prawn crackers here?
No.
Oh no, it's big pink. Chinese food is so different in the other countries.
Than here?
Our Chinese food is very different to your Chinese food, and neither of them are anything like Chinese food.
They're not actually. It's not actually Chinese.
Italian food's the big one because we got our Italians at different times. You guys got Italians 150 years ago, and that your Italian food has really become an American. Whereas we got Italians in the 70s, so they're still hanging on. So I went to one of the first things I went to in Steubenville, which is where Dean Martin is from. So I went to their 100-year-old Italian restaurant with pictures of Dean. Dean would have been here. Yeah. And I said, oh, can I have a puttanesca? And they're like, what is that?
So they don't.
We got red sauce, white sauce.
So we've Americanized Italian food.
Very much so.
And so when you get it in Australia, you're getting actual from...
So you're getting, I think, something closer to the...
Is it getting...
But also like your American weird Italian
we got
food.
a great...
The spaghetti.
Noodles and tomato sauce.
The salad with one big chili filled with oil or whatever the hell's inside that.
That's so weird. You never think about that. Like
that was
because American culture is so like viral.
Yeah.
Like you get it on it, and it's like a virus. Like it takes it over, and it's like, well, yeah, sure, this is Chinese, but this is American Chinese.
But you also only export some. It's weird being here, and the things people care about are very different to the things that make it into the media that come out. Like college football being huge here.
Love it.
We watch the Super Bowl, and that's it. And also the way a Super Bowl game looks is so different to every other.
Yeah.
It's two great teams who are really, really nervous.
Yeah.
Playing,
Yeah.
It's often I mean, years. That's what we thought NFL was just Tom Brady throwing 6 yards at a time.
That's so fucking
But
funny.
it's really a better game. And college football is vibrant and exciting, and there's none of that. We get zero.
So you don't get
export.
any of like the fun part of what college football or the NFL.
No.
Has that been mind-blowing for you to...
The other thing, we don't get the Super Bowl ads, so we could look them up online, but when we're watching the Super Bowl, we're getting, like a guy selling a TV down the road for
he goes, hey,
$147 is a good television set. Funeral insurance from your local neighborhood.
Matthew McConaughey dressed as Batman being like, Robin loves Uber Eats. And you're like, why are you guys freaking out? Salesforce, dude. I've been obsessed with that.
Yeah, I saw you talking about it.
Oh yeah, on Stavies.
Yeah,
because I'm obsessed with celebrities that are backing AI.
This is one of the first conversations we had was where you couldn't believe that people would do gambling commercials when they had all that money.
Yeah,
and I always think something must have gone very wrong for Anthony LaPaglia or whatever to be doing Bet365.
Yeah, dude, it's bad. It's really bleak because
they don't need it. It's not a good thing. I enjoy a little punt. Occasionally, I don't mind a pokey machine.
I love doing it.
Eurovision winner, whatever. I bet
when I'm in Vegas, I want to play blackjack. I want to go to a sports book. I want to put in a bet. Claiming a sports book ticket in person.
It sounds great.
Is so fun.
Oh,
it's so fun.
You don't do horse racing as much here. You have some horse racing.
We have some horse racing.
In Australia, it's like you go into any bar and there are 3 screens playing the horse races going on at that time in the world.
And when you win, you have something to hand someone.
You get to hold in it. Or when you lose, you get to tear it up. And
oh my God. But now with the
dog racing, you don't do dog racing. There's some dog racing. Greyhounds. I saw in
Empire Casino.
I think Wheeling, West Virginia. I got to see the dog track.
I'll tell you what. If you had more time here, I would take you up to the Empire Casino. We go watch.
Do you go as far as the Jap? Now, there's like a couple hours where no one anywhere in the world is awake to do horse racing or dog racing.
Yeah.
And at that point in Australia, you pop on the Japanese robot dogs where they have like 3D dog racing simulations.
Oh my God, that's too much.
We cannot stop. We cannot be stopped.
But my thing with the gambling ads is we haven't seen the epidemic hit yet.
Yeah. Well, I've seen it. Australia's the highest gambling losses per capita anywhere in the world.
Really?
We beat Asia. We beat Singapore's number 2. We beat them like 2-1.
Do you guys have it on apps and stuff?
I'll get into a couple things. So their advertising is incredible.
Okay.
And what they did, because there weren't a lot of good comedy jobs going in Australia, is they took some of the best, like people who really could be big and may still be big one day, and should have been writing on a sketch show.
Sure.
And instead they're writing for these gambling commercials.
So
and it's
they're
like
really well done. Incredibly
beautifully shot, better written than anything that's on television, gambling commercials. Because like Men Are Lonely, there's a social media component to our gambling apps where it's like you're betting with the boys, you're all in a group chat. That's where the chat's happening. That's where the online hangout is on the sports bet.
Yeah.
It's fucked.
They've weaponized the idea.
People about sport. Because everyone's doing a multi-bet. You're not just watching the game hoping somebody wins. You got to hope they win in a very specific way where he gets 25 touches. And it's, the leader of the opposition when I was there, he was like, I just miss watching football, watching a game of footy with my sons. Just having a normal conversation about football.
About caring about the sport.
But instead of being like first goal scorer and they've got to get to this and that, it's just like,